Hi everyone, welcome along to the 5th of December. It's FlossMas, Advent Day 5. Things are motoring on quite well. I don't know if you can hear a little something in the background. Ness and Mum have got the telly on and Chris is doing his training, which involves watching a video and sweating a lot. So if you can hear any little in the background, I'm sorry about that. Right, I have succeeded in festiving myself up, as I mentioned the other day. I've got my Broken Society Christmas Krampus, You'll Be Sorry jumper on, which I love. I love the whole Krampus thing. Love to go to the Christmas markets and do the Krampus run and all that sort of stuff. It would be amazing. Got lots to share with you today. I have got a little bit of haul, as I knew I was expecting today, so I can't wait to share that with you because it means some exciting projects might be waiting in the wings and starting, even though I've no business starting anything else. So I am going to start with this, and number 5 today is a little fox. Now Ness is very excited about this because we had a couple of years ago a little fox cub that kind of stayed around, and she called her Pom Pom, and we still see Pom Pom about and we still hear her. Sorry, it requires some pressing. I still hear her and we still see her. And I left one of my sort of beach sandals out on the, there she is. I left one of my beach sandals out on the doorstep last summer, and we found it chewed up in the road. Pom Pom had got it, and she likes to come and sit out here and just shout and scream. She's very loud, but Ness loves her. So nice to see her still around. So Ness was very pleased to see that. Right, let's have a look at the stitching. I have only put in a few stitches on my Norfolk because I'm trying to finish that, and also done the, what did we call it yesterday? The Ever Flossfolk tote. No, Ever Flossfolk Advent. There's no tote in it. Well, there it is. There's an Evertote, but the Ever Floss. I'm gonna have to change it. It's too difficult to say. It's even worse than saying the whole thing. Now, this was a little bit of a nightmare yesterday, I won't lie. I had to put in these two bodies, and I stitched them, and I was looking at them and I was like, something's not right with that second one, and I couldn't work out what was not right with the second one, and it was because it was longer. And so then I had to ferret it out and fix it and all sorts. And there was also a little bit that I hadn't noticed to put on the bottom of here. And then when I was putting that on the bottom, I noticed that one of my leaf structures was out of place as well. So that had to be redone. So it took me, I think it was only something like 160 crosses, and it took me quite a long time to actually get it done. But I did. And I'm looking forward to seeing what is next. So without further ado, let's have a little look. Ooh, that's a lovely colour. So it says, head over to the Modern Folk Embroidery YouTube channel to hear some rather wonderful mythological creatures from the Nordic folklore. Oh, we've got skirts. We've got skirts to go with our, sorry, I should hold that up. Skirts to go with our tops. So 162 crosses, looks fairly foolproof today. And the colour is blue spruce, which is this rather fabulous bluey green, which is going to look amazing with these colours so far. The other thing I was thinking about today, and quite like your opinion on it, Christmas decorations that stay out all year round. Now I don't mean those that are just really lovely and we've stitched them and we want them to stay out all year round, but those Christmas decorations, that one or two that always seem to get forgotten, and you get to March and you think, well, that's still there, I didn't notice that, and then it never really quite gets back up in the loft and it seems to sort of kick around for a full 12 months, and then by the time sort of September comes you think, well, there's not much point putting it away now because it's nearly Christmas again. And so do you have that? Is that just me that has these kind of, every year there's always one or two things that never quite go away. One of the ones is the bauble that we made when Ness was really small. you know, with the handprints and the footprints on it. And quite often around June time, I'll take a look up at the curtain rail and it'll still be there. Quite frankly, thought that had gone back in the loft. So yeah, let me know if you have those type of ornaments that you suddenly notice several months into the year that are still there. Right, the freebie today is by Hands On Design. It's called Berries in Bloom, and I know that I've showed it before, and I've got it out really as a bit of an aid memoir, because every year I think I really want to do this, and every year I don't. So I'm gonna just fold that over because you will be familiar with it, I'm sure. It's the wreath that's got Merry in the middle, and it's stitched on beautiful pale blue fabric, I should think. Yeah, it is what, 10, 20, 30, oh, 65 by 64, it does tell me, without me trying to have to count. Thank you, Kathy. And it just looks amazing. So I really want to stitch that this year. Getting a little out of whack there. So yes, I just love it. Every year I think of this particular design and it needs stitching. The things that I've brought to show you are some of the things that I've started to put on my little mini Christmas tree. And there's some that I finished earlier this year, and I hope I can remember. I've lost one other thing. So this one I can definitely remember. Oops, there we go. As a modern folk embroidery. And I finished this off earlier in the year using my trick with the plastic placemats that make great templates. They also make really good sort of innards for these. You can put a couple of them together and then they make great shapes. So that is a modern folk embroidery one. It is stitched in licorice, and the designer or the dyer of the licorice escapes me at the moment. It's either Classic Colourworks or Gentle Arts. It's not a Weeks Dye Works one because it had a big tag. I remember having a big tag. And then there's these two, which I think I stitched the previous year, but then I didn't finish off. Now I know this is part of a bigger design by Panochka, and I'm pretty convinced it was in one of the Just Cross Stitch Christmas specials. It did have much more of the sort of woodland birch tree there, but I just decided to stitch just the little woodpecker because he was so lovely. And I also stitched this one, and I'll have to have a look back and see who this one's by because I can't quite remember, but I used the beaded border technique, which is a tutorial on Helen D's videos, and it is so super simple that I managed to do too. So I'm going to be hanging those up on my Christmas tree straight away after this. And I also bought some of these. These are little knitting needle gauges. Oh, dishwasher's on. These are little knitting needle gauges, and I bought 3 of them. They're different manufacturers, but I just really liked the bell shape of them, and I thought they were kind of crafting, knitting sort of themed, so I decided that I would put them on my tree as well. I'm not going to stop the dishwasher because I stopped it last night, and then I had a load of, it didn't restart, and I had a load of dirty plates and dirty water in the bottom of the dishwasher this morning. So I'm sorry about that, but I'm not going to restart it. Oh, how many beeps have we got? Just the one? I doubt it. Right, let's have a look at the Historical Sampler Company Advent before we have a look at my purchases. Ooh, another ornament. So we have got some lovely Ada. Does it tell me what count this is? It's going to stop beeping in a minute. No, it doesn't. As I said, I'm rubbish at telling. I would say that's 16 count, but I do really like that one. That is very cute. And so I've got the threads for it because that came in the kit to begin with. And so I've got all the things that I need to make this. It is, does it say? No, It doesn't have a stitch count on it, but it's not very big at all. That's really cute. I love that. I love, love, love. Right, let's have a look and see what came in my box from Peakside. And also my West Green Loft Yarns fabric of the month came in. So I've been getting 32 count, and I think I'm going to write to Vicky and ask her if I can switch to 36 count. Let's take it out. This is called Cookie Dough, which is a fabulous, fabulous colour. So let's have a look. It's sort of like a peachy brown with some a good amount of mottling on it. That is lovely. It's almost like a vintage country mocha, but lighter and slightly more peachy. So nothing really like it at all. This headband is getting beyond a joke. Hang on. I'm going to end up looking like Elvis and have a quiff in a minute. There we go. So I was very pleased with that today. I've really enjoyed being in that club this year. So if you are looking for a club to join, that's a really good one. Which reminds me, Corey's little shop, Letitia, is a fabulous, fabulous thread vendor. Anything to do with gold work, anything to do with all sorts of beautiful embroidery that I could never imagine being able to do. But she stocks all of our lovely threads that we're looking for as well. So NPIs, Classic Colour Works, Weeks Dye Works, Belsoirs, everything that you can think of, literally everything that you can think of. She has launched 5 new thread clubs for next year. So if you're interested in a thread club, you can join the NPI thread club, the Belsoir thread club, or the cotton thread clubs from Classic Colour Works and all those. Go on to her website. I'll put her information down below if you're looking for a thread club to join. It's a really good way of building stash and encouraging you to have the confidence to swap things in and out, because if you've got them there in front of you, you can see it and it's much clearer. I love swapping threads out. Right, this is from Peakside. This is the last of the Fabulous Houses series, the log cabin, which I think is the one that we would like to live in most. We've booked a log cabin actually for next summer, down not far outside Taunton. It's got 4 fishing lakes, private, just to this one lodge. So we are going to be in heaven down there. I think I mentioned it before. And I also saw this. I had not seen this before, and I'm not sure how it hadn't come to my attention, but I love it. You can see without the glare. It's called We Belong. And it might very well look lovely on that fabric actually. If we have no peace, it is because we have forgotten we belong to one another. I really like that. Fox and Rabbit Dirt Track, recommended is Gloriana silk thread in antique grey. So I love that. That's really nice. I also picked up a piece of Picture This Plus 36 count fawn, just because it took my fancy. And because I think I might use it for this, Deck the Coupe. I have 2 copies of this chart, so I think it's about time we try to actually stitch it. And I really like this. I've liked it since it came out. And these are the threads. So I bought the Weeks Dye Works threads for it. So let's see what we've got to make sure they're all for this. Lily Pad, Red Rocks, Tin Roof, Lily Pad again. Not sure I managed to order 2 of those. Never mind. Oscar. I got 2 of those? No. Sanguine, Schneckly, and Cocoa. Now it also requires charcoal and grits, but I tend to substitute those more. I just tend to use a sort of a dark, really dark grey, whichever one I've got to hand, and grits is kind of like a a whitey cream. So I tend to just use whatever I've got to hand for those. And then this last part of my order is for a project that I am 100% on board with. It has got a hashtag that goes with it, and I'll put the hashtag along the bottom, and I'll also have to put along the bottom the stitcher that started it all, because I can't quite remember off the top of my head. And it is a Kathy Barrick stocking, a Quaker Christmas stocking, and I'll put a picture of it up here. It's fabulous. It's just fabulous. So I have chosen Picture This Plus 36 count Ancient to do it on, which is a great fabric. I love Ancient. Sort of yellow with some grey. And I'm pretty sure that I can get one stocking down here, and I could probably get another one going back in the opposite direction. And these are the colours. And I am pretty sure, I'm pretty sure there's a couple of others there that I already had. I think there might be a white and a black, but there's not many. So I'll put all that information down below if you would like to join the stitch along. It doesn't start till January because the chart isn't widely available yet. It's still on not pre-order, but still on up and coming releases on 123 Stitch. So that means it's nowhere near the UK at the moment yet. But so that's two things that I've no business starting, but hey ho. I really need to have a year where I concentrate and try and finish a few things. Maybe next year, we'll see. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. Stay classy, stitchers.